messing me up.
Let's go, yeah. I came up through these streets, now who's running the show? Me. Ha ha, he, yeah. We topping the bill now. Topping the bill now. Stacking the bills now. Stacking them. Came up through these streets, now who's running the show? Me. Ha ha, he, yeah. We topping the bill now.
I got Jamie Foxx here. Y'all go ahead and clap for him, as we already, ain't nothing but a rolling start. Nothing but, please. Like, you.
Hey, this is just for the front row. This is the front row.
Nobody wants to see your wee.
Nah, this the back row.
Please sit down.
Come on, man.
Okay, so look.
Let's not forget to have fun.
Okay, well, listen, we're about to have a good time. In fact, the whole point of Be Woke Vote is we want to get folks like yourself to help us understand where we are.
Yeah.
People are terrified, freaked out. People watch the news every day, get freaked out, and November is coming up. We're not sure people are actually focusing on November, and so what we're doing is trying to get some of our best minds on this situation, on this problem. I mean, you know, look, you're an actor, you're an Academy Award winner, you're a musician, you're a singer.
Male dancer. A lot of people don't give me props.
Fine, whatever you are.
Yeah, all that.
But I wanted to start with that because I think, you know, people don't know how much you care.
Yeah, I care a lot.
I mean, people don't know.
And I'll watch you and I'll text you sometimes.
Yes,
I know I'll probably be out of hand, but so I'm glad you're doing this because we have to wake up in so many different things. I learned so much, you know, from my father, who was a Black history a teacher, but he would explain the desensitizing of a Black life. Like when I was talking to you about the lynchings. Yeah. See, when they made the postcards of the lynchings, there was a couple of things they were doing, not only documenting, but they were desensitizing you to death. Right. Like when those families would take their kids and they take a picnic basket and they go to a lynching, and it's 300 people and they got food and they're watching Black men be killed and burned. That's to desensitize that 4-year-old, 5-year-old, 6-year-old. So by the time he's 30, he doesn't care what a Black person is. He doesn't care. So when he's watching something on the news about, I don't care. And then what does it do to us? We watch it so much, we start not to care. Look at us. When we see Black folks being killed, sometimes we start to think, well, that's our plight. It's what we're experiencing. Because you got to think about it. If those kids were 7, 8 years old, they grow up, have their kids. So now
it gets passed down.
It gets passed down. So my father would always say, I wish everyone could get a passport. I wish everybody in America get a passport. He said, because think about it. Even if you're white or Black, you stay on your block. True. You never leave your block. You go to church and what do you see? Only the people in your community. You go to white church. You don't see Blacks and whites going to church together. Everything we do is separate. And the only thing that you have to define someone that doesn't look like you is that. So when you're watching TV, what do you see? So all of the images and all the things, people changing the story. By the time you see that person, what are you? I used to do this joke called, you know what that is?
No, not yet.
It's how some white people react when they see Black people. Like, I was in Chicago, and I'm already Jamie Foxx. I'm in Chicago, and I'm doing a gig, but I go into the nice hotel, but I got my hoodie on. I get on the elevator, and there was a few white people, and they shut it. They got to the corner. They didn't know. It was like, oh, and I was like, so I'm like, whatever, right? But one had the courage to look over to see, and it's like, oh God, it's Jamie Foxx. And they all went, it's like, but it's funny, but at the same time, it's real. And so now, when you're talking about be woke, stop with the Instagram shit. Stop with the goofiness. Let's actually get out there and do it. We need you to tell young folks how important it is that you go vote. I hear, man, my vote ain't gonna count it. Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
The thing I think people don't, add up in their own mind is, if your vote didn't matter, why do they spend so much time trying to disenfranchise us? Passing all these laws, voter ID laws.
They don't get it because it's subtle. When you say voter ID, you can ask any person on the street, what is a voter ID law? They have no idea. So I say, forget all that. Just say, hey, get your ass up and fucking go vote. I don't care who you vote for, because all of that stuff, it go over your head when they say, oh, the voter ID, do I got my ID? I ain't never, you know how somebody say your ID, you're like, shit, do I have my ID with me? It's simple. Yeah. all of the belly aching. My daughter, 24.
Yeah, well, I got questions about her, but go ahead, talk about your daughter.
My daughter, 24. So when she was talking about the situation with the presidential, and I said, don't take it for granted. Dad, I'm so upset. He won. I said, did all of you guys vote? Not this time, but we're gonna. I said, then get off my phone.
Get off my phone.
540 million women in the streets saying that. Well, where was those 540 million to support that other woman? But now you bellyache. Like, nah, when Obama was coming, you know what I was doing. I was like, you know the brother coming, I'm coming. I had the curtain open when I was on. I want y'all to see me mark this motherfucker. Come on, brother. But I say it in a joke, but I also saw a lady, she had her own company. I was in Denver. I said, you're voting for Hillary, right? Oh, God, no. I said, what? No, she's a crook. I said, what did she do? I don't know, but it's all over the press. I said, well, what was it? And it was an email or something, or something about a chive and a vote. I don't know what, but she's evil. I said, okay, gee. I said, I thought since you were running your own company and you want to break the glass ceiling, that this was to be the person you'd embrace. So, oh, no, I could never. I said, so this is what I did. I took my iPad and I put all of the candidates and what they believe in on the iPad, but I hid the names. I said, I want you to pick who you agree with. She put her glass on. This one. I said, you want me to tell you who you picked? Oh, God, please, no. You picked Hillary Clinton. But what is that? What is that you can't get past that you basically allow? Now, my whole thing like this, the system works. We all talk about the voting system. Here's the thing, when the voting system doesn't work in your behalf, oh man, this shit fucked up.
It's rigged.
Nah, you know, just like we know, when we went out and supported who we want to support, it turns out your way. So and it's important that you do this because what they have to understand is things like Supreme Court justices, things like that, Donald Trump wasn't Donald Trump. Donald Trump was a way to get what you want done. That's why I would always say, like the Democrats, I said, sometimes you're too soft, you're too lackadaisical, you're too worried about it. Democrats are like R&B singers. They gotta sing lead. I gotta sing lead. Like, you never saw Obama with Clinton. They never come together. Think about it. You have all of these opportunities to come. I remember when Obama won, I thought, man, it'd be great if Obama, Bill Clinton, and all of the Democrats did a nice cover for Time magazine. No, R&B, I gotta have friends. Republicans, they sing in a choir. They don't necessarily sing in tune, but they sing loud, and they all know the words. It's all one song, and they sing that motherfucker, and they singing right now. So you can't be mad at their enthusiasm for what they want. You have to have the same enthusiasm, and you gotta stop being so, I just don't wanna say. You gotta see where it is. You gotta take the fight to the fight. Yeah. I love when they go high, we go low. I dig all that.
Right.
But sometimes you gotta
kick them in the testicles.
tie your hair up. Get your Vaseline.
One thing I think you mentioned the whole thing about women not supporting Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
One thing that brothers never got any appreciation for. 6 out of 10 white women basically voted for Donald Trump.
Yeah.
If you have 10 white women, 6 out of them voted for Trump.
It's nothing right. That's what they want to do.
But for all that they say about African-American men being sexist and patriarchal, which we are and still working on.
That's what we do. Okay, I'm sorry.
You take 10 black men, 10 black male voters, 9 out of 10 black male voters voted for Hillary Clinton. So black men were willing to put a white woman in the Oval Office when...
that's a loaded sentence. Yeah, go ahead.
Wait.
Black men love them white women, don't they? No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm just kidding. All right, listen.
But all I'm saying is, don't you think we deserve some credit and some respect for being willing as black men to vote for a female?
Okay, listen what I'm saying. All the credits and all of that, great.
Yes.
At the end of the day, if you want a different candidate, there's certain things that we got to break. Let me ask you a question. Every person that voted for Donald Trump, are they racist?
I have never said they were all racist.
I'm asking you a question. I'm asking the audience. Do you think that every person that voted for Donald Trump is racist? No. You know what they are, though? Perceptionist. New word. The perception. May not hate the person, but the perception of a woman. Even women can't get past the perception. We graded Hillary Clinton on everything. Everything. I was doing it was all black women. I said, you voting for Hillary? Hell no. She can't get her man together. She can't get the country together. What? They was naming all the stuff and her clothes, I can't take it. One time she had on a kung fu outfit. And she did. She did. She had a kung fu outfit on, and it was 8 gold buttons and a high collar, and she had the shoes to go with it, and I did say, wow. And when I was watching her speak, my boy was sitting next to me going, yo, what's with the Bruce Lee outfit? And I said, I'm trying to hear the issues, bro. And now, we graded her on everything. One girl said, I said, you voting for Hillary? She's a Scorpio. I can't mess with no Scorpio. She said, a Scorpio? And she literally said, a Scorpio beat me out some money 2 years ago. I just can't fool with no Scorpio. It was the perception of her. And then you look at Donald Trump, the perception. White man, that funny hair, that long hair. He looked like a high school principal. You know what I'm saying? That big old wide tail. You kids, get the class, you blacks, you Mexicans. Archie Bunker-ish. He was a reality star. He did certain things that, it was just a perception of that. And even black people are guilty of perception sometimes against our own. Because I know I've done it. Because black people are nervous flyers. You ever see a black person get on a plane? Especially if they just first get, they assess everything. Is the wing where it's supposed? Because the wing got to be, it's who's flying. And we go in the cockpit, we look in the cockpit. The first thing we do is, who's flying it? If we see a black person, we need your, the first time I saw a black pilot, I literally said, hey man, what you doing? Hey, you better get up, man, before you hit something, man, and knock it out and man, get your ass out this. And he said, no, I'm the pilot. I said, what, you okay? Cool. Man, I sat next to him for 15 minutes. I asked him every question, so how many hours you got? Cool. And then a woman sat next to him. I said, shit, we going down. We going down. Because the perception. But that same plane is storming outside. And you get on that plane, you see that white man with that salt and pepper hair? And them damn aviator shades, and that blonde forearm hair to do like that, and it come to a ridge right there. Fly this shit through a hurricane. Sully got us, y'all, Sully. It's a joke, but it's real. And until we break down perception, we'll never be able to make that step towards woman president, towards things that we just feel uncomfortable and we're afraid to say it out loud. You know why there was a lot of people at the inauguration? Because they didn't want to tell you how they voted. I was somewhere in Malibu, doing my thing. And the person who I thought was literally going to vote for Hillary accidentally said, well, we think Donald, and her husband said, Charlotte, Jesus. I said, what? They didn't want to tell you. So a lot of the stuff that we're belly aching about is because inside of us, we haven't gotten there yet. So the minute we turn that switch on and say, hey, we want what's decent. The one thing that I loved about, and I still love about America, is the fact that we have the ability to get it right. I call it the evolution of freedom. We eventually get it right. In situations like we're going through right now, the only thing that disheartens me is when it comes to my kids. When I see grown people talking that way in that position, it hurts the kids. Because being president, yeah, it's great. It makes you feel good if it's your guy. But the one thing you could count on was the moral compass. See, I'm a comic, so I can do whatever. But I could always look to the president to have him say, okay, he's gonna say and do the right things. Because my thing's like this, you already won.
Right.
You scored the touchdown.
Yeah.
But you dancing in the end zone like a mob.
Like 3 weeks later.
Yeah, so it's sort of, that's the disheartening part, and that's where I think not only do we vote, but we put pressure on the people that are supposed to be doing it. You put pressure on the Republicans and the Democrats and the people that are supposed to be holding people in check, be like, yo, man, we can't destroy it like that. Yeah, the economy ticked up a little bit. And that's fantastic. But also, you can look at President Obama and say he took it from 16 to 8. Right. You took it from 8 to 6 or 5. Obama just didn't dance in the end zone as much. But here's what I say. Say the economy is doing a little better, but you rip us apart. You rip us apart to where we can't even have a conversation with people right now.
That's right.
When you go out right now, everybody's like this right now. And it's unnecessary. And that's what we have to understand, that, yo, what can you do to actually heal it a little bit?
Well, let's talk about that, because I've said many times, you know, the economy coming up, a society coming apart.
That's what I'm saying. It's like this.
Right,
whether you believe in the Bible or not, certain things in the Bible, you know, I played the piano for church, but it said, what profits a man to gain the world and lose his soul? Every time you say something disparaging about somebody from that position, you're ripping our soul away a little bit. And then you're putting pressure on good people. Because I don't think that every Republican is bad, and I don't think that every Democrat is bad. I don't believe that. But I watch how much pressure he put on those Republicans when he say something. They'd be like, oh, man.
They'd be looking constipated.
Oh, man, because I was watching one of the interviews where he was doing a press conference, and I had to laugh. He was like, hey. He like almost turned into Joe Pesci a little bit. And he started giving shout outs, like, hey, that's General Kelly. Where's my general? And you cut over to General Kelly, he's like, oh. So America is always gonna be great. But what we have to do is say, how can we dial that back?
Yeah.
Because what you ain't understanding when you saying those things, man, you turning some people on. Yeah. You turning them people in the South, where we just did Monroeville, Alabama, you turning them on. I can walk down the street now and be proud that I hate other races. I can be proud that I hate niggas and Jews and chinks and gooks and everything else that they named. I was talking about that. I said, you know, they sat down and named every other race. Who does that? You give them the keys? Nah, B. That's why you should be woke and get your ass up and vote. Because those are the things that if we don't stand up to that, who knows what's coming next? Yeah, and we can't survive that way. And all these kids, these people that are 19, 20 and dealing with what they dealing with, we gotta be responsible. Listen, I'm 50, about to be 51. I know I don't look it. Look at the sister right there. Oh my God, Jamie is in the gym. Okay. Black don't cry. No, but me and Puff and all of us, we came through at a time where it was done for us. Our parents sort of paved the way through civil rights. So when we came through, we didn't have the things that the kids are dealing with now, to look on social media and see some of the things that are ripping us apart. And so that's why we gotta do it. We have to pick up and say, hey man, whether it's Republican, whether it's Democrat, whether it's independent, let's just be respectful. Absolutely. And like I said, the only way you get that is to get out there and let your voice be heard.
One thing I always say to people all the time is, we need Republicans and we need Democrats.
Exactly.
If all Republicans going to go off the rails, if all Democrats will go off the rails. We need each. I've never seen a bird fly with only a left wing or only a right wing. A bird needs 2 wings to fly.
Exactly.
But that said, we need to vote for better Republicans if you're a Republican, and vote for better Democrats if you're a Democrat. I just want to come back. You said something about having a daughter that's 24.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, you know, she's doing very, very well.
Yeah.
Corrine Foxx. She's with you on Beat Shazam. She's going to be in a movie that you're directing. What's the name of the movie?
All-Star Weekend.
All-Star Weekend.
It's about two guys. One guy loves LeBron, the other one loves Steph Curry, and they're just trying to get to the All-Star game. Yeah. Mad funny.
Yeah. So I mean, you got real. She's coming on.
Yeah.
Different generation though.
Different generation.
Different challenges, whatever. When you talk to her and her friends, they're all excited, whatever. Do you feel that they are going to step it up this time?
I actually do. I gotta commend the young folk.
Talk about it.
And the reason that I commend young folk, like say in the situation of now, we live in a world where there's social media.
Yeah.
Police shoots and kills black man
Right.
in front of his kid, right? The young folk stood up. My daughter, who was, God bless, she grew up in a very controlled, safe neighborhood. She called me from her on her phone and said, "Dad, I'm marching." I said, "Where you at?" "I'm in the street." I said, "For what?" "Ferguson, I'm in the street." All these different Trayvon, I'm in the street. So the young folks, we got to kind of, because we kind of fell asleep.
Yeah.
Look at us.
Yeah.
Look at all the guys my age. I don't want to get into that. My money. I don't want to get into that. But these young kids is like, no. And what I was explaining to people, I said, they live in a world where everything is on their phone. You can't get it back. I mean, I know all you old people, I don't know all these kids don't turn their phone off and go outside and play. That ain't gonna happen. But here's what's interesting when we're talking about those things. When I talked to her, I said, "Corinne, I'm glad that you're standing up. Now I can give you the tools to help you talk to them." Mayor Nutter, like say for instance the police thing. Mayor Nutter of Philadelphia asked me one day, "Could you come speak to the police?" I said, "Yeah, but let me talk to the hood first."
That's right.
He said, "What you mean?" I said, I don't want to be hanging out here and be with y'all in the hood, be like, "What you doing?" So I talked to the hood, and this is a point where they were killing cops. You remember this, a few years back. And it was horrible. And I talked to the hood, they were like, yeah. I was like, oh. So I went back to the mayor, I said, "Hey, you got a situation, but what I think you should do is change the perception. Go find the most white cop you can find. Have him go into the poorest black neighborhood. Get a kid that's 6, 7, 8 years old, throw a picnic for him." He said, "Well, what's that gonna do?" "I'm trying to change the perception, trying to change the narrative. Because if we could see different narratives, if that kid could see that cop differently, then things may change as that kid gets older." I said, because right now what's happening once we're on this and you see that cop shoot that man in front of that kid, there's no way you can't feel something about that. And regardless of what they say about black on black, whatever, you can't get that out of your head. Now, what happens? A young black kid sees that, 19-year-old kid, he's watching that. What is he doing? He's
Feelings.
Now, white cop, he's on his, sees that black kid on how he's reacting. Now what happens? Once they run into each other, what?
It's all bad.
So I told her, I said, we have the tools. We can help in every aspect. But I love the fact that you guys have taken it upon yourselves. And we give millennials a lot of shit. But the one thing they did do is that they say, hey, we ain't standing for it. So we gotta back them.
Yep.
We gotta keep them energized. We gotta keep them engaged. And there it is.
Now, look, man, I love everything you said, and I feel inspired by the young people. If we can get them to march on into the voting booth and then keep on marching and doing other stuff, I think it's going to be great. Listen, I appreciate you. I love you.
Man, love you.
This is I'm gonna see if I can close it.
You do your thing.
You do your thing. I know, because I know nothing bad gonna happen to me. Here we go.
All right.
So, honored to have you here. Jamie Foxx is another episode, another installment of Be Woke Vote. I'm Van Jones with The Messy Truth. We'll see you next time.
Great.
Swag it out, man.
Be like me. Be woke. Vote.